Most people are concerned with security in some form. We lock our doors, we get antivirus software for our computers, we take many security precautions in our federal government. We have agencies that are there to protect the integrity of our country. Many churches nowadays are employing security teams to protect their congregations during their times of assembly. However, there is another area of security which is absolutely essential. It is the protection of the congregation from covert operatives who enter in under the guise of sincere believers but come in with false teachings. Here Jesus deals with this issue in the Sermon on the Mount. He stated, "Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will recognize them by their fruits. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes or figs from thistles?" Here Jesus tells the citizens of the kingdom to beware of false teachers in sheep's clothing. The word translated beware means to bring near. It comes from two words in the Greek, which translate as near and to have or to hold. The word is often used in the context of being attentive to something. The idea is to bring something near so that you can pay close attention to it. The verb beware is in the Greek present tense, and it's an imperative, a command, meaning that this is a continuous command from the Lord, and that we must keep on being closely attentive to make sure that we identify the false prophets. Therefore, the Lord commands every citizen of the kingdom to be on constant vigilance for those covert operatives, those false prophets in sheep's clothing who teach false doctrine. These come in disguise as prophets of God while they call themselves Christians. Their doctrine is far from the truth because the truth is not in them. So how do we identify these false teachers? Since they come in disguise with a Christian title. In a study that we've done one time, or I've done once, called The Marks of a Cult, there were given 4 distinctive marks of a cult. They were defined by mathematical symbols, plus, which is to add, minus, subtract, the multiplication sign, and a divide sign. And the first one was this: these false teachers add to the 66 books of the Bible. They do this by writing documents that they count as new revelation, equal in authority to that of the Bible. In some cases, they feel that their writings are of greater authority. They may also add to the 66 books of the Bible by giving an exclusive interpretation by one of their own prophets, without which you cannot correctly interpret the Bible. Second, false teachers will subtract from the Trinity of God. They will normally do this by denying the full deity and humanity of Jesus. In other words, they will not say that Jesus is the eternal and infinite God who became man. They will infer or state that Jesus is a God, little g, one of many gods, a man who would perhaps become a god, or just a good man and a teacher. The third mark is that false teachers multiply works unto salvation. Well, they have to do this if they deny the deity of Christ. First, Christ is not God. He cannot pay the infinite price of man's sin. If he was just a man, he'd have to pay his own sin. Thus, they teach that a person must do good works or practice certain ordinances of the church, such as baptism, to merit salvation. In such teaching, they undermine the work of the atonement and deny the doctrine of free grace clearly taught in the Scriptures. Last, false teachers divide followers. They do this by making membership in their organization necessary for salvation. According to these teachers, if you belong to any church that is not their church or their denomination, you will be eternally lost. The main point of Jesus' words is this: be vigilant. Jesus stated that you will know them by their fruit. So what kind of fruit will they produce from this false teaching? It cannot be the fruit of the Spirit. It can only be the fruit of the flesh. The reason for this is that false teachers have never experienced true salvation. If they had, they would not be teaching that which is false. Since they have not experienced true salvation, they are devoid of the Spirit and cannot produce the fruit of the Spirit. Moreover, they can't really interpret the Bible correctly because these things are spiritually discerned. The Spirit is the one who gives us the ability to interpret the things of Scripture. So watch out for those who call themselves Christian, but teach things contrary to the truth of Christianity. They are wolves in lambskins, seeking to devour the unexpecting with their false teachings.